Hello, welcome to Talkin Kop. It is episode 2 of The Title. It's just me and Gav today because, this is the best. This is going to be the best one. So, we did want to share it, did we, Gav?
No, no. I think we're doing fixtures 7 to 14 or something, maybe.
Yeah. And ends on the big one, which is the one we all cared about. To be fair, it's the one we all cared about that season as well, to be fair. So I think when we left, we'd just beaten Chelsea 2-1. Still top of the league. All good. We did play in the League Cup against, I think it's MK Dons, where I think Hoover gets his first goal for Liverpool, but we'll gloss over that. So we go away to Sheffield United away, and this is where Sheffield United were good. This is their first season back in the Prem. I think
Yeah, newly promoted, yeah.
but I think he finished near mid-table. They have overlapping centre backs. It's
Yeah.
it's all a bit of a mad, tricky game. I'm pretty certain this is another early kickoff because Liverpool just love early kickoffs. It's a fucking dog of a game, though.
Yeah. This is one where it's one where we're not quite at the races and they have a couple of chances where you'd think a better team would put them away. And I suppose as the game goes on, you're thinking Liverpool have had a brilliant start here. Are we 6 from 6 going into this one?
Yeah, we haven't dropped a point yet.
Yeah.
So it's all,
And this is our
good.
7th game. It's away to a newly promoted team who a lot of people kind of rate. And you know what? It's one of those where when you look back on it, it's a big 3 points. Because if you draw that game, people are going, oh, they've drawn away to a newly promoted side, Has it been, a great start, but they're just not all there. It's a bit of a mad one. Tom asks, do you know you're live on the YouTube show thumbnail, the tribute show? I do. I realise I've made a mess of this. But it's okay. I'll switch it all over at the end, so do not worry, Tom. When we do both shows, at the end of this show, I will switch it all over and it'll be absolutely fine. Don't panic.
You
But
just
yeah,
like a more work, don't you?
what?
You just like a bit more work, don't you?
No, I don't like more work. As soon as I hit go live, you could probably, I don't know if people could hear me.
I
but
heard.
just went,
I heard the.
yeah, oh shit.
Shit.
Because I just chose the wrong show. So I'm really, really sorry. But we will, look, it doesn't make a difference. As soon as this show is over, we will switch all the details over and it'll take me 5 minutes. It's all good. But anyway, Sheffield United. Yeah, it doesn't feel like one of the biggest games of the season, but I think if you're putting a marker down in the season, your marker doesn't stick as much if you've drawn away or lost away to Sheffield United. I don't think we're at our best. Is the lineup a bit of a strange one?
It's not that strange. So let me get the lineup for you. It is. Oh, I've got it off my screen. That's.
I have a feeling it was a bit of a strange lineup.
So, Adrian's in goal. Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo. And then it's the usual midfield and usual front three. So it's pretty.
Okay.
Pretty. It's that's the other thing. It's pretty strong. I do remember Salah having 2 decent chances and Henson making. It's a decent save, but the chances you go, he really should be scoring those. It's not ideal, but the manager makes a bit of a big change on 63. He takes Henderson off and throws Origi on, so we basically go 4-2-4 for a bit and go. I think that was the manager's intention of probably learning from last year, where there were some away games. We went, it's a point, it'll do. A point's a good point away from home, and then we sort of realised. Not with City. You need to win every game, or at least make an effort to win every game. So he brings Origi on, and I suppose in a way you guys say to manage it's the inspired sub because he puts a cross in. It's clear, and it falls to Gino Wijnaldum, who hits a shot from the edge of the area. It's the best P roll you've ever seen, and it goes straight through Henderson's hands. It does a proper tie.
He was on loan for Manchester United, isn't he?
Yeah, he had a really good season that year. Yeah. Really good.
He did.
It literally went through his hand, through his legs. It was like watching Taibbi again. And you were just going, how the fuck we got away with this?
Yeah.
It was the most maddest goal you ever seen. But it was a bit batten down the hatches then for the last 15 minutes. So it was, Sheffield United did have a proper go.
Yeah.
I think, we brought Milner on late to close things out, that sort of stuff. But it did feel like one of those games where you were made up for the 3 points where you're like, Jesus, got away with that one. It felt very much like Luton this season.
Yeah. If you walk away from Luton with a 1-0 there, you're kind of going. I'd agree with that. It was one of those games where we're probably the better side. We have some good chances. I'm nearly sure they've 1 or 2 good chances. I think your man Ollie McBurney might have a good chance. And I could be that wrong. He mightn't even be playing for them at the time, but I'm nearly
I'm
sure
not
he
gonna,
was. But
let me get that team off here.
you know what?
Two seconds.
We
He
do
was. He
enough.
start. Yeah, he was playing for them.
Yeah,
McBurney was. He was.
we do enough. We get there in the end, and it's a good 3 points, and we move on.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones where you're just relieved.
Yeah, just it's out of the way. Was that an early kickoff?
I'm almost certain it was an early kickoff. And then we had a home game in Champions League. It was that mad 4-3 with Salzburg,
Yeah,
where we're 3-0 up, goes to 3-3. There's a camera filming their manager at our time when he's talking about, I think he was recovering from cancer, had a cancer scare, and Klopp saying, if Liverpool ever do that to me, I'm off.
yeah.
And then we get a very late winner. So a bit of a mad game all round, really. And the next game is Leicester at home. And I actually went to this one with my brother. This was horrible in the end. Relief at the end. But we start for this one. And again, I didn't realise this. I forget from this point onwards. And I think people forget this. Dejan Lovren gets a bit of a run on the side now. He actually appears in quite a few games now from here on. So we start with Adrian still in goals, Trent, Dejan and Van Dijk with Robbo. Midfield, he's put Milner in for Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and the usual front three. Keita's finally back on the subs bench, and Harvey Elliott's on the subs bench as well. And you think this Leicester side was Rodgers? I think it's the first time Rodgers had come back to Anfield since we binned him off.
Yeah.
But they were going in good form, and it was Johnny Evans and Soyuncu was the middle six. They just sold Maguire to United for.
What score does this end up?
2-1.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
So,
this is the one where
Manny scores his standard ball down the left side. He gets it, cuts his right foot and just bends it. Bottom
is
corner.
this the one where Madison makes it 1-1 and Adrian is poor for it?
Yeah, but Madison, it was one of those games where Liverpool were always on top, but you were going, these are dangerous on the counter, and you were always going 1-0. Just it was you had a feel for those games. You go 1-0 isn't going to be enough here. We definitely need another one. We need to really push for another one. And then in the end, Madison shot. It's like straight at Adrian. It's that awkward height where it's like just by his foot, so he can't quite get down to it. But you sort of look on, you wanted to save that. But the mad thing is, it's probably sums up Madison as sums up Adrian's sort of performance and goals for us at that time is he lets in a goal that he really shouldn't. But 10 minutes earlier, Jamie Vardy was clean through 1-on-1 and he makes a good save.
Yeah.
And Southampton, if he just had those moments where he'd make a big save and then he'd make he'd throw a daft one in, which is probably why he's always been a reserve goalie. That's kind of his forte.
Yeah, you'll get 70-80% of them, and then it'll all go the wrong way. There's more people joining the chat here because of my error. A lot of people would have been waiting on obviously this title show to start, and I clicked the wrong show because I've two lined up. So we are showing live on this, but we will switch it over. Don't panic. This is where
the key moment though is 86 minutes. Is Rodgers takes Madison off at 1-1, and brings on our mate Chowdhury.
Yes, and Chowdhury goes through Salah, tries to break him in half.
And I remember the post-match with Klopp where they said, is Mo okay? And he just looks at the interviewer and goes, what do you mean is he okay? How on earth can he be okay after that? That's it. And he basically said, and his exact phrase was, that boy did that last week and he's done it again. He said, I'm all for tackles, he said, but not that. And he said, and he was just like, I have no idea when Mo will be back. It was a real worry because you could tell it's like, because Mo doesn't get injured very often.
Yeah.
And he said it doesn't stay down. But I remember in the ground, it was a proper hush because you went like, he's not moving. He's done. You all knew at the time when he's done.
And any time I see Chowdhury on a pitch, whether it's against Liverpool or not, he actually comes on in the League Cup earlier this season.
Yeah,
I worry every time because he doesn't seem. Do you know what he's like? He's like a more defensive version of Paul Scholes. He doesn't know how to tackle. He just throws himself around. It's a horrible tackle. But then when you think Leicester have taken the draw, because I think that the kind of momentum goes out of Liverpool when Salah goes off, and you're thinking this is just going to peter out now.
We bring Lallana on for for him. And we kind of go, look, Lallana wasn't the player he was, but he's
Yeah,
in a Champions League final. He's not going to play. He's not going to do anything on the wing. Now, Origi was on already for Firmino, so you think, what's going to do here? The best thing Lallana did when he came on is he tried to start a fight with Chowdhury in about
yeah,
a minute,
yeah.
which I'm all for, because in the crowd, you were a few minutes 1-1 thinking, oh, this is a silly draw, this, which we should be doing this, but at least we'll try to have a fight and all that. And then Origi gets the ball, he gets tackled by Albrighton, and Albright, for some reason, instead of just clearing it, or that he tries to round his own keeper, turns around, and Manny, as soon as they spot the dope, he
Yeah.
just stands in front of him and goes kick. And
But
goes,
the thing
kick
is,
me.
with this one, Origi should get a shot away.
Yeah,
Origi should Origi's there, and you're kind of going get your shot away, and then Albrighton comes in, nips what was telling you, like, I don't fucking believe this. It's rolling towards Schmeichel. But Albrighton, I don't know what Albrighton's thinking, because if he just stopped running, nobody can get to that ball but Kasper Schmeichel. He then takes it away from Kasper Schmeichel, but Mane then just stands in front of him and literally just stands there and waits, and then your man just kicks him in the back of the legs. He goes down. It's a penalty. And you're like, I can't believe it.
It takes ages, though, because it's a VAR check, and there's this VAR check for ages. Is it a pen? No one in the ground knows what's going on. When you watch the replay, it is a pen, because he kicks him. What I love about it is, and you only love it because you're a Liverpool fan, because he's your player, is Mane goes down, and he holds his body down like that, but he does that thing where he keeps looking up to the ref going, you give it, yeah. Ah, right, okay, I'll get up now. You've given it now. I'll get up now.
And Milner takes the penalty.
And I'll be honest, as soon as Milner took the penalty, I was pretty relaxed, because Milner rarely misses.
I like Milner's variation on his penalties. I always did. He'll either whip it into his bottom left as he looks for it. He'll place it really hard into the bottom right, or he just chips it down the middle. He just runs up and just it's not even a Panenka. A Panenka is where you chip. He just kind of runs up and just hits it really softly, like he's hitting, he's kicking into his 4-year-old nephew that's 20 yards away from him. And it's like in the net. So when he stood up to that, am I right in saying it's a 3:00 game?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I have a feeling it was dodgy streams. 3:00 dodgy streams.
Yeah, so
he scores, the place goes mad. It was fucking brilliant.
I was in the Lower Kenny, and Lower Kenny's not exactly the loudest stand.
No.
It absolutely went off, falling down, people falling down and all that. I got into a bit of an argument with some fella, as I remember, because I've got a real bugbear about people who leave early. It does my head in.
Yeah.
So this lad started leaving early. Shite this, typical. We dropped this, and he started to go downstairs. And as he takes the penalty score, he walks over and me, bro. No, you believe it. You fuck off. We don't want you. Fuck off. So me and this bloke having a rant with each other because I said, you've already left, mate. You don't get to enjoy this.
Isn't it funny? Like, you say it goes off in the Lower Kenny, and I've been in the Lower Kenny plenty of times, and like it's it would probably be the most reserved area of the ground, I would say, overall. But in my experience of being in all four ends of the ground, but isn't that a reflection, I suppose, on even this is game 8, and like there's 38 games. This is game 8, and people are absolutely losing the plot because we won 2-1 in the 8th game of the season, because that's what the pressure was. We've spoken before about Arsenal, having to do it for 6 months and just wondering how the fuck we done it. But that's what it was. You had to literally win every game. And if by chance City dropped a couple of points, you go, right, there's one in the bank there where we can let go. Mm-hmm. But this is 8 games in, home to Leicester at 3:00 on a Saturday, and the place is bananas.
A lot of the chat around me was, when it was 1-1, there's a lot of that feel of, this feels like West Ham, this feels like last year when we drew with Leicester. And he's going like, because I remember, because I was unfortunately at that game, we drew with Leicester and City get a last minute winner against West Ham, and that flipped the gap a little bit more, and you were like, no. Yeah. And City, was still at this point just churning wins out, and you were like, for fuck's sake. So it felt massive, because you were like, we're no worse off. And also, look, there was always sticking it to your old managers, always good.
Yeah. Fast Tortoise reckons there's no way that's a penalty on Mane. If that's given against you, you go mad. Do you know what? It's more of a penalty in today's game than it is then. That's my opinion on it. Because once you make contact now and you kick a guy from behind, it's a penalty. It's more of a penalty now than it was then. Mane knew exactly what he was doing, and you kind of have to give it because of the stupidity of Albrighton. You know what I mean? What's he at? His head completely goes Albrighton.
I'll say this phrase a few times because there's a few of these, but it is the classic Souness, spot the dope.
Yeah.
And that's what he was always told when he played for Liverpool in the 80s: is spot the dope, get yourself the win. Yeah. And Manny was so good at spotting someone who's about to do something soft and going, right, I can take advantage of that. And that's what you're supposed to do. And to be fair,
that's 8 out of 8.
Yeah, still not dropped a point.
Yeah.
So it's still like going, it's grand, isn't it? It's we're not used to us being like this consistent. So then the next one is United. Now I remember doing some of the pre-match shows with you, and I think Sean, he was on it on that. We're all giving it these are shite. Yeah. This is fucking garbage, this United side. More so than what we say about them now. We'll be wiping the floor with these. These are absolutely rubbish.
Who's in charge of United?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ollie.
Is it Solskjaer? Okay.
It's Solskjaer. So their team is De Gea in goal, Lindelof, Maguire, Rojo, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay, Fred, Young, Andres Pereira, who I think is now at Fulham, Dan James, and Marcus Rashford.
Yeah. Is this the one where they go 1-up after Origi is kicked up in the air?
This is the one, yeah. So
Salah doesn't play then, does he?
Salah doesn't play, but I remember there was a thing in Sky where they're going, Salah's shirt's hung up in the dressing room, so he must be fit. He must be in the squad, and he wasn't even on the bus, I don't think.
Yeah.
So Origi comes in for Salah, Matip comes in for Van Dijk, and Henson comes in and Henson starts as well. So
Matip comes in for Van Dijk.
Matip comes in for Lovren, sorry.
Yeah.
So Matip's back in, so you're going, okay, let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is one of that, and this is where we start to get the whole inconsistency of ours. It's a foul on Origi to me. He's absolutely whipped
Lindelof, I think, is the one that goes through the back of him, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes through the back of him. He plays him. They go, well, they've got to play on until it goes out of play. Plays to Rashford. He's clean through, slots it. And
I remember Lindelof making the tackle, and then it goes out. I think it might be Dan James tears down the wing with it. Puts it across, and Rashford's on the back post to tap home. And you're thinking, well, they're just going to bring this back. Like, it's without a doubt they're bringing this back because he literally went through the back of him.
Klopp goes mad,
and then it's like, no, they're giving this.
No, it was, and I think ref was. I'm almost certain. I'll check. I'm sure it's
Anthony Taylor or Tierney. One of them pricks.
It was some prick that we don't like.
It's fella that literally
Mark Atkinson.
Yeah, he can probably see United from his bedroom window as well. He can probably see out Old Trafford. But it's it's the first points dropped. But you know what? I kind of came away from it, and I'm kind of going 9 games in, 25 points, and people are like, because I remember after this game thinking, if the game goes on another 5 minutes, Liverpool win it, because I think Liverpool just take control of this game, and United were poor, but Liverpool during this period had this thing about going to Old Trafford, and I think they did with the season before. It might be a 0-0 draw, and
Klopp can beat United.
Yeah, it was like they went there and they literally, instead of having a look at United for 15 minutes and then going assessing it and going, right, this is what we do, they literally looked at United for 15 minutes and then changed nothing and nearly lost that bottle, right? But this one was a bit different because we go 1-0 down. For the second half, I think we take control of it. Lallana gets the equaliser on around 86-ish, somewhere around.
So what Klopp does is he takes Origi off on the hour mark for Chamberlain.
Yeah.
And then on 71, he takes Henderson off, who's not happy, for Lallana. And I think quite a few at the time we were a bit like, fucking hell, lads, we need to win this. Is Lallana really what we need? Yeah. And then Keita comes on an 82 for Wijnaldum. So, but it's those three that combine for the goal.
Yeah.
Which then goes to Robbo. It's a good finish, but it's a weird ball because it's a curved cross. But like all the United lads just go.
They run past it.
That goes straight.
No, sorry, they don't. They don't. We're in control of this. And we're playing. Keita actually plays really well in the 10 minutes he comes on. But it gets thrown to Robertson. And it's like the United side decide that we're going to play an offside from a cross here. That's what it felt like. And they all just stand still. and it just goes across the goal, and there's the Lallana running in, knocks it in, and De Gea's hand is straight up because he's thinking, there's no way this fella can be onside, but he's a mile on. And if it
Yeah.
goes on another 5 minutes, Liverpool win the game. What minutes does he score in? I want to say
85.
85, 86, yeah. And you
Yeah.
think, and then Liverpool go at them again, and you're kind of
Yeah.
going, give them a few more minutes, they'll do it. But they
What's
don't.
funny is Fabinho, Chamberlain, and Keita are raging at Lallana because he scores. And look, it's his first goal in a long time. You know,
Yeah.
he's had a horrible time of injury, so he's lapping it up in front of the fans. They're all got to the halfway line, a bit like, fuck off your moments. We can get the win.
Yeah.
And I think we have one. I think Chamberlain has a dig from just outside the box, and it's not far wide. You think, fucking it, we almost nick it. But yeah, it was a mixed one because you sort of go, well, a draw at Old Trafford's not the end of the world because it's not. You know, but there was a feeling at the time going, that's doesn't feel like a game we should be dropping points because they weren't great.
But the thing was, right, and Kev says there, Klopp had a mental block with United. He thought they were better than they really were. He definitely had a mental block at Old Trafford. It was like he was trying to find a formula to go and quieten Old Trafford and work out what they were doing. When the thing to do was to just go out and play a game and you'll beat them because they were fucking terrible, right? But I came away from that one going, we could have won it. You know, we're a bit hard done by with the Origi thing, but we didn't lose. And I think the fact that we equalised late and we looked good second half, you know, and people were looking, and it probably, in hindsight, it probably takes a bit of pressure off us because this would have been 9 out of 9. And everyone, even though they will be gunning for you anyway, because A, you're Liverpool, and B, you're top of the league. I think the fact if you go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever it might be, winning in a row, there'd be teams getting majorly pissed off at you and just start kicking you and all sorts. So I think it releases a little bit of a pressure valve. And let's be honest, you go away to United, you should beat them, but shit happens. But you're 9 games in, you've won 8, and you've drawn 1. It's 25 points. It's all good. It's really all good.
But I think this is where City gets in your head a bit because it did also feel like, oh, that could cost us that. Which is mad when you think 9 games in, first point you've dropped all season, you go, oh, that could.
Yeah, but the way I looked at it, Chris, was we're 9 games in, we've dropped 2 points. If we replicate that across the season, we drop 8 points all season. That's a 106 point season. We're absolutely fine. You know, there's much more. There's crunch ones coming, and they're coming very soon. And I can't wait to get on to them. Who do we play next?
Well, we play Genk in the Champions League, where
not interested.
3-1. The only notice about Genk is Chamberlain's second goal.
The curl
just comes to the outside the box, and he hits it with like the outside of his foot, top corner. It's a great goal. Apart from that, it was weird Champions League this year because at the time Lowe's was like, I generally can't give a shit about the Champions League. I just want to get this league won.
Yeah.
Which is defending champions is a mad way to think, and I know it sounds very privileged, but you were in that mindset of, I really just want to win the league. So Europe's great, but
I was all in on the league.
We were all like rest players for the Champions League.
Yeah. Just fucking ring them and tell them we're not interested in playing it. We've something else to be doing. Who's next?
So Spurs at home. So it's another TV game. So we go Alisson, Trent, Lovren's back in, BVD, Robbo, usual midfield, usual attack. He always played Lovren against Tottenham. After they had that fucking mare where we got beat at Wembley, which was...
but what's going on? Like, I'm trying to think, what's going on with Matip and Joe Gomez here?
Well, Gomez is always on the bench. He just doesn't get picked for a while, which is...
But then he ends up where Matip gets injured and Gomez, I think, comes in for a lot of this season then.
I think so, yeah, but it's a bit later on. This run now is a lot of Dexy Lovren. And to be fair to him, he does quite well. And he normally does all... Weirdly, he always does all right against Kane, which you wouldn't think he would.
So Salah's back in this team?
Salah's back. Yeah, Salah's back.
Okay.
So, and it goes really well for Liverpool. 1 minute in, 1-0 down. Good start.
Harry Kane.
It's a mad one where it's like a deflected shot. It hits the crossbar. Alisson's, we don't see where it bounces, and Kane just like heads it in for about a yard off the floor.
Yes.
And you think, fucking hell, this is a great start. I forgot to mention, Alisson's back. He came back. That was a big news at Old Trafford. It was Alisson's first game back.
Yes.
Which was a big relief. So you were thinking, oh God. And Tottenham at the time were awkward is the best way of putting them. So
Emma
this is
Cameron says most memorable thing about the Gent game was the two lads that flew to Ghent by mistake. Yeah, actually, do you know what? That I vaguely remember that. That's amazing. Did they get any? Did they get like? Did anyone do anything for them? Like something that happens. Someone goes, "Ah, look, we get to the next game for free or something." But it's a European away. Like, what are you doing? But flying to Ghent is amazing. Anyway, Alisson's back the week before. Harry Kane scoring after 2 minutes because we were acting the maggot.
yeah.
Go on,
This is
continue.
the Pochettino team still. So this is last season. But I mean, give you an idea. Their team was Gazaniga in goal, Serge Aurier. This was Alderweireld, Sanchez, Danny Rose, Sissoko, Winks, Ali, Christian Eriksen, Son, and Kane. So it was a strong Tottenham side.
Yeah.
You know,
Is this the one where Gazaniga has the bleeding game of his life?
yeah, yeah.
He's
Because
saving things all
it's
over the
1-0.
camp.
Well, 1-0 down at half time. You go, this is like one of those ones. The reserve goalie has a worldie, and you go, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake,
Yeah.
I could
He
do
has
it.
a
I could do
really
it
good
out there.
game, Gazaniga.
And they were really dangerous on the break.
Yeah.
Every time they're on the break, thinking, "Oh, this is not great." But on 55, so cross comes in. It's like I think it's Salah. I want to say it's clash, and you're thinking we're going to shout for penalty, and it bounces behind Salah to Henderson, and he hits it left footed. I think it is like a half volley down into the ground, and it bounces under Gazaniga and gets in. It's captain's goal. He goes mad. I think he was getting some stick from the main stand, so I think he told the main stand to fuck off,
Yeah.
basically.
You see, I mix these games up with the one the season before where Salah's header. Is
The
it
own
the
goal.
season before the own goal? I get these mixed up.
I was at that one. I've never, to go back to that game, I've never felt so physically sick for a winner. Because as soon as he's got, because you have that head rush and you jump up. And when it's finished, I remember looking at my brother going, I don't think I'm built for these title runnings. Fuck me, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Generally,
But
so
this one is Henderson, isn't it? Where he hits it kind of down into the ground, like nearly shins it.
shins it in. Like, I mean, listen, no one cared. I mean, that was always a criticism of Henderson is he probably should have scored more than would have liked him to score a few more. But this season he doesn't score many, but the important goals are always the openers are equalised. Kind of what you need your captain to do when you're there. And my classic then, Serge Aurier, who Graham Souness hated, and it was spot the dope, and it's Manny again, which was he did the same thing he always does. Just nicks the ball as Aurier's about to clear it. Manny just stands in front of him and go just volley me if you want, and he just volleys him in the air, and then he's shocked it's a penalty. He just fell for it every time.
Yeah.
The penalty's funny though because this is where Gazaniga stays on his line, stays bang central because he's obviously been told by an analyst. Somebody goes, Salah bangs this down the middle. So he's waiting for Salah to bang it down the middle and he just lashes it in the bottom corner. So it makes Gazaniga look quite stupid, really. He just stands out to the move.
Is this the game as well where Sissoko ends up on the break with about 3 of them?
No, that's the other 2-1.
It was that the other 2-1, was it?
That's the other 2-1.
I'm genuinely getting these two games mixed up. It's
lot
still
of
one of my
Spurs
favourite
games
things
as well.
ever. All of Spurs running that Virgil van Dijk and he's just like, no way, I'm just making this fella shoot.
I remember seeing that game because Van Dijk kept angling himself going, you're not passed it to Son.
No.
Because that's what I was screaming for was, you all first going, hit him, just take it. We're thinking, that's what Soko's waiting for because he wants to slip it to Son.
Yeah.
And he keeps going, no. Right,
yeah,
go on,
it's one of my favourites. Yeah, it pops up every so often. But
have you seen
that's a big win though. That's a big win because we're off the back of the European Cup after beating Spurs. Now Spurs aren't great because I think Pochettino ends up going.
It does in the end, yeah.
Yeah. So Spurs aren't in the best of form, but
it's a good side though.
Yeah, it is a good side, and they are really good on the break. And when Liverpool, the mood Liverpool are in right now is they're going to dominate the ball, they're going to dominate territory, and the only thing you can do is really break on them. But like I said millions of times before, they make you play percentage stuff. But Spurs, in fairness, were very good at finding that one pass, not even a punt, one pass out of defence to a Kane who'd lay it off and then they'd look to go. They were brilliant at it. That's a big win. After dropping the points against United, it's a big win.
That's when Dele Alli was at his best as well, and Eriksen, so they had those sort of cute players who going like, they were a pain in the arse to play. It always felt like a big win at Anfield when you got them because it's just a difficult game.
Yeah.
So The next game, it's not a league game, but I want to talk about it for a couple of minutes, Gav, and you'll understand why in a minute.
Yeah.
So it's after that, it's the League Cup, which no one gave a shit about. We got
Yeah.
Arsenal in the League Cup, and
Oh, this is the
this is the
5-all
5-all,
penalties.
and 5-4 in penalties.
Yeah.
It's a mad game. So I'd not long been doing the pods with you, and I remember you messaging me and saying, "Do you want to do the post match?" And I said, "I can't." I said, "I'm taking my daughter to a first ever Anfield game," and do you know what? I was in Lower Kenny, but everyone around me, I was thinking, like, you don't see, can you sort of recognise the same faces because it's a season ticket older section. I think nearly every season ticket holder had obviously gone to like a brother, a cousin. Take your kids. I'm not fucking arsed with that. So literally, it felt like there was about 10,000 kids first ever game at Anfield. It's the most mental game
Yeah, it was
I've ever
crazy.
watched.
I watched it at home, and it was like, I think we go ahead. Your man
What?
gets an own goal. Brewster
Mustafi.
starts, doesn't he? Mustafi makes
Yeah,
Brewster starts, and you think he scored, but he has a Mustafi scores, and then did they go 2-1 up fairly quickly? I think your
they
man
go through.
Torreira is involved. He scores. He actually
I think it was,
scores, I think, and he's at the scoring in the league game earlier in the season.
let me check. I think they go 3-1 up. I think they go.
Yeah,
Yeah, they go through. Martinelli. Torreira gets one. Martinelli gets two.
yeah,
Because for one of the goals, because Matt watching this back, and this shows how you should never judge players on one game. Kelleher plays in goals, and he's shite for a couple of goals where you think he should
yeah,
do better. Martinez in goals for
yeah,
Arsenal. He's World Cup winner now.
yeah,
He looked nothing special. You were
yeah,
generally going like, "Who's this? Who's this bloke they've got? It's just some
yeah.
random fella they picked
I
up."
remember
He looked like
they do go 3-1 up, but we make. Do we get to
we get
3-2 at half time?
we get to 3-2. It's a soft penalty, no VAR. Milner standard does his little shuffle and
Yeah,
slots. And you think, right, 3-2. So going okay, and then literally the second half kicks off. Milner, the most experienced man playing left back, just underhits a back pass to the
that's
keeper,
right.
and
That's
they
right.
slot it to make it 4-2. And I'm
Is that the
going,
one where it goes across and Ozil flicks it back to your man?
oh, it's a quality
Yeah,
backheel
he
flick.
back flicks it to one of them. Reece
Nathan,
Nelson, I think.
no, Niles,
Oh,
Maitland
Maitland
Niles.
Niles. Maitland Niles. Willock
So
then scores, doesn't he?
yeah, so I was talking to my daughter's there. And I was like, "You enjoyed it, love?" And she just went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." She said, "Be better if they were winning it, wouldn't it?" I was like, "Yeah." But we start Lallana in this game. I think it's Lallana, Keita, and Chamberlain start. And I'm honest, they're the three most experienced players on the pitch, and they're rubbish.
Yeah,
Absolutely rubbish. We bring Curtis Jones on.
yeah,
So they make it 4-2. Chamberlain scores a worldie.
yeah. Because
It's like an absolute rocket.
they make a 4-2 with Maitland Niles.
We make it 4-3 with Chamberlain.
Then Willock scores to make it 5-3, does he?
No, Origi scores to make it 4-4.
Right. Then they score.
They score, and the Willock goal, it's well worth watching. He
Yeah, it's a
hits it
brilliant
like a
goal.
bullet. It's a
Yeah,
hell of a shot. No keeper saving that.
yeah,
And you go, it's 5-4. It's 5-4. It's like a minute to go.
yeah,
It's not really happening. And Nico Williams digs a cross out from nowhere from the byline, comes to Origi, and he sort of volleys. It's like behind him,
yeah,
and he hits with his ankle. And I've heard the commentary. You just hear the Origi, and it's 5-5, and it just went off.
yeah.
You thought we'd won the league.
Keeper's poor for that one as well, I think, actually.
Both
Yeah.
keepers poor for both.
It was a
for
mad
all the
game.
goals, really.
It was a fucking mad game. Kev he's remember watching that game. He's breaking his arse laughing at the end. Ozil that night was ridiculous. Yeah, it was a lovely flick from
Yeah.
Ozil. But what's the next league game?
Right, we'll do that. And then Curtis Jones scores the winner with
Yes, Curtis Jones
because they swapped pens, didn't they?
yeah, and Kelleher after being
Saved-
terrible saved
saved
from was it
The lad who's at Real Madrid. The lad who went back to Real Madrid. What's his name?
Caboyas?
Yeah, Tobias. That's him. Yeah.
Yeah. Because your man was playing for them right back. You know what was the right back's name? He plays with Betis now. Or he was with Barcelona. The
Yeah,
right
no,
back.
I
Can't
know
think
the
of
one
his
you
name.
mean.
He was the captain at one stage. I think the little right back. Can't remember his name. But
Yeah.
Kelleher had to be in brutal, makes a couple of saves, and of course Curtis Jones scores the winning pen. Yeah.
Okay, so this is, I think, one of the definitive games of the season. It is Villa away.
Yes.
Now, the big one in this is there is no Fabinho because we had the big debate. He was one booking away from suspension, and we were all like, "Well, play him in the League Cup. He can miss the Villa game." And we realised they changed the rules, which is the bookings count for the competition you're in.
Yes.
So basically, he got booked at Villa.
And I think they've changed that again since, haven't they?
No, I think they've still kept
Have
it.
they still got it? Yeah. We were
Bellerin
confused because we thought they were across all competitions. And if you miss him in the League Cup, you'd be fine for Villa. But it turns out it wasn't. Bellerin is the name of the right back.
Bellerin,
Thanks,
it.
Kev. But it was actually the competition you were banned from. So he misses Villa.
Yeah. So we play Alisson in goal, Trent, Van Dijk, Lovren again, Robbo, Henderson, Wijnaldum. Lallana starts over Keita, which I do remember this boiling a lot of piss. The usual front three. Bench was Adrian, Gomez, Fabinho was on the bench, Milner, Keita, Chamberlain, Origi. They go ahead after 20 minutes. Trezeguet, we're brutal. We're pretty brutal in this game. Yeah. It's not a great performance.
It's a ball to the back post and nobody's tracking him.
Yeah.
He just scores.
And City are playing, because we're at 3 o'clock kickoff, so I'm watching
City are playing Southampton the same day.
And City also start losing to Southampton.
Yes.
And you think, oh, this is on the we need this is our opportunity. The game goes on. I think on 65, Chamberlain comes on for Salah and Origi comes on for Wijnaldum. So we try to put.
Does he bring Fabinho on in the end though?
No,
he doesn't bring him on.
Never,
because we're keeping Fabinho for City, and he doesn't want to get him booked.
Yeah. He had that lovely. He had the McAllister habit of just being booked for moving.
Yeah, okay. So the way this is going, and I remember this is a 3 o'clock Saturday.
It's horrible.
100% it's a 3 o'clock Saturday because I had it on the old IPTV here, right? And I'm watching it. But it was like, I don't know what feed it was, but they were bringing up the scores. And I think City are 1-0 down to Southampton at home. Right? And this is how I remember it, and I could be wrong, because it's fucking 4 years ago now. But I'm watching, and City equalise. I'm nearly sure, do City equalise against Southampton? And then go ahead. And I remember we were only 3 points clear of City going into this. Right?
Yeah, so on 70 minutes, Aguero scores to make it 1-1.
Yeah.
And we are still
1-0 down.
1-0 down. And on 86 minutes, Kyle Walker scores to
make it 2-1. But we're still 1-0 down.
We're still losing.
Because I remember already Matt in my head going, hold on a minute. I think we were 6 clear of them. Right? We were 6 clear of them. No, we were 6 clear of them going into the game. Because I thought if we lose, this could be 3. And then they could win if they win at Anfield, we're all level again after a brilliant start to the season. And I'm sitting at home watching it. And I was here on my own. It was 2019. I'd only one child at the time. My wife was pregnant. And they were both out. I was here on my own. Literally had the fucking on the telly. It was glued to the telly. And I seen City went 2-1 up. And I'm already doing the maths. And I'm kind of going, how big is next Sunday now?
I was watching with my father-in-law, and he was just going like, let's at least get a draw. We can't.
Yeah, and Liverpool, and to be fair, Liverpool were pushing, but not pushing where it was like, I didn't feel like they were absolutely hammering down the door against Villa. Because Villa have a couple of breaks as well, where you're kind of going, oh, Jesus Christ. And it was kind of helter-skelter. And then I think it's Trent gets on his left foot. I think it's Trent. No, it's not. It's Mane. Mane gets on his left foot and swings this thing to the back post.
As yours, your first thought is, who the fuck's going for that?
Yeah.
And Robbo comes out of nowhere.
No, he's like a steam train. Yeah. And he smashes this header against, I want to say it was Tom Heaton in goal for Villa.
I will tell you. It was Tom Heaton.
Yeah. And it hits Heaton and flies into the net. And straight away, Robertson just continues his run. Runs in a half circle, tells him to get the fucking ball. We're up the pitch. Someone comes, it might be Van Dijk. He gives him a high five and he's back. And he's like, come on, let's get going. And then again, I'm doing the maths. And I'm saying to myself, right, that's 4. So that means we cannot not be top next Sunday, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
And I think Trent gets a free kick.
It's a corner.
No, Trent has a free kick that hits their wall and goes out for a corner.
Yeah, he does.
Because it's lined up, and I think it's a bit of one where you're kind of going, is it a free kick? Is it not? And it reminded me of Do you remember Gerrard in 08, 09?
Yeah,
Where they
that's
get a
what.
dodgy enough free and he puts it in the top bins at the same end at Villa Park. And when
So you're
this was
thinking
going on,
this is the moment, and when
yeah,
he
this
went,
felt like it was
oh,
going to be the
you
same
went,
thing.
oh,
And
it's
Trent
like,
hits
oh,
it, and the wall jumps and it hits someone, goes out, and there's a big cheer from Villa Park, oh yeah, and there's nothing left in the game. And then the corner goes in, Chris, and honestly,
when you watch it back, it's a brave header because he basically has a boot in the face,
yeah. But the
flicked
funny
it.
thing is, watching it live on the TV, I
Oh,
had no idea how that ball ended up in the net because all I could see was a ball. Like when you watch it back, right, the ball is seen just coming in, and it's not that high, right. But all of a sudden, it just feels like two bodies kind of cross each other, and next thing it's in the far corner. And I actually genuinely thought that the defender went to kick it and sliced it into the far corner. Anyway, I fucking jumped around the place like a lunatic. Um, and
I I
and
went.
then when I look back, it was like you're saying, this guy's foot is going to boot this, and Manny gets his head in it. And I think it's, the second biggest factor in winning that league.
Yeah, because that I'm pretty certain City fans that would have crushed them. Get in. There's such as oh yeah, we all feel a bit like we've always felt the other way around with City. It was a massive goal, but yeah, I remember jumping around absolutely berserk, and then remember I was at my in-laws,
Yeah.
shouting and swearing and screaming and thinking it's not the best impressions of
Fucked
my
up.
in-laws.
Emmett
So,
says he was watching in Mallorca, had his phone up in the room charging, went up to get it, and there was 2 goals at the time. It took me to grab the phone. It was huge, and I remember being Do you know when you don't even scream out loud? I was literally in the house with me 2 fists, and I was just, like it was just like it felt huge because you were going into Anfield the following week, right? And you're going in 6 clear. I'm nearly sure it's 6 clear. And you're known that you're going in the position that we've had to go to the Etihad in plenty of fucking times. Now they're coming to Airgaff and we're 6 clear. How's it going to go?
my mate texted me and he goes, I know it's early in the season. Said that feels like a Makeda moment, and I knew what he meant. It just felt like there's just certain goals in season you go like feels like a big one.
I don't think it burst City's bubble, but I think
No, it just felt like we're.
the momentum
I
from
always feel
there.
like we're in control because it's such a big swing. You're like,
Yeah,
this makes
yeah,
the game massive.
and for it to go City 2-1 on 86, and we're 1-0 down, and we end up winning 2-1 as well. I just think I'm not saying it burst City's bubble, but I think it made City go, these aren't stopping. They aren't stopping, and
how often
we break them. We break them fairly quickly from there. Actually,
yeah. How often though is it us and City both playing at the same time at 3:00? It's so rare.
never.
It's so rare.
Never.
I mean, quite glad it's rare because it's bloody horrible. You're trying to watch the game, but also watch your phone going, oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I've actually stopped looking at City's results as they're live because you just know when you turn around at 3:05 they're 1-0 up. They've just done that every fucking week, But I thought it was huge, and then the next game is the next game is City at Anfield, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But there was a Genk game. I don't give a fuck about that.
Can I just say we're doing very well on time here?
We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
I think we're going to get out of here in the next 6 or 7 minutes, and I think that's bang on. We're doing great. Go on, City at home.
City at home. So Alisson in goal, Trent, Lovren again, Van Dijk, Robertson, usual midfield, usual attack. It was pretty much the standard team that they sat. I mean, to give you an idea, they had
usual midfield, i.e. Wijnaldum, Henderson,
Ronaldo, Henderson, and Fabinho. So Fabinho was back in. So the standard front three. They had Claudio Bravo was in goal because Edison must have picked an injury up. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Fernandinho was playing centre back.
Angelino was left back.
Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, KDB, Sterling, Aguero.
Yeah.
So this is when they were still doing the whole playing
4-4-1-1 sort of thing they were doing.
Yeah, but they were playing a centre mid at centre back.
Yeah.
And this is when Rodri wasn't the Rodri now.
Yeah.
He did take him probably a good year to settle into the Prem because my thing with Rodri at the time when they first signed him was if you get behind him, he's not the awareness to turn around and see it out. Whereas now they'd
Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Sterling.
Mm.
Who else?
Gundogan. So it
Gundogan.
was
Yeah.
Rodri,
Rodri
De
and
Bruyne.
Gundogan. And then he had Bernardo Silva and Sterling with De Bruyne really behind
Yeah.
Aguero. And he done this at Anfield a lot, where
Mm.
he went in, and I felt Guardiola went in and just hoped at times that De Bruyne and Aguero would see him home, because Sterling never has a good game there. I don't think Bernardo Silva has the influence over City that he has now. And I'm not too sure Gundogan did at that time either. Um, but it's controversial, isn't it? Because they go down the pitch. It
Bernardo
bounces
Silva.
up off
It's
Aguero.
Bernardo Silva. It yeah, I think it hits the City hand, but it bounces up,
Yeah, it
hits
goes.
Sterling's hand.
It kind of find it goes
Right
down
hand.
the line, and then it kind of. I think Van Dijk wins a header, but he feels like he might be fouled, and someone just heads it back over his head, and Bernardo Silva, I think, is running in, and what happens is he goes to go by somebody, they kick it, it hits his arm, shoots across goal, where it hits Trent in the arm,
It hits his
right?
thigh into his arm.
Yeah, and they all stop, penalty, penalty. And I remember it because the ball drops. Van Dijk just goes, "Oh, there's the ball." Passes to Robertson, who tears out of the pit, out of the box for it, down the line to Mane. Mane faces up Stones. I think is Stones playing that day.
Yeah, Stone's playing there.
Yeah,
It's a cross that comes in. Gundogan it's a weak clear by
yeah,
Gundogan.
but I think Fernandinho misses it, and it falls, and Angelino's there, and I think Gundogan kind of toes this thing out to the edge of the box, and then Fabinho smashes it in, and then there's more that breaks in because
Well,
City want the penalty at the other end.
it's a hell of a hit.
It's a great hit.
I think Andy, who's on the episode one, I think describes a thunder bastard, which is
Yeah,
probably the best description.
it's the one where it just hits the join of the side net and the back of the net,
Yeah.
right down that stitching where you get that bum where the stanchion moves, and it's 1-0 to Liverpool, and I think that's about 9. I want to say 9 minutes in.
Martin Tyler, they went, what are they going to do here? And Tyler, being Tyler, was just like, we'll have to bring it back for the penalty.
Yeah,
He was so blasé. And
yeah.
they weren't and City moan about it, they go on about it. There's so many deflections in that.
Well, the
You
thing
never
is
get a
that you
handball.
have to remember the rule at the time was if it hits your player, attacking player, in the arm, regardless of who they are,
Yeah.
it has to be. It's you can't get a goal from it, because City actually get done against Spurs in a league game early that season, I think, where it comes off Laporte's hand and drops to Jesus, and Jesus scores, and it's bare touch off Laporte. And the minute it happens, they're like, "Oh, it's hit Laporte. It's not going to be given because he's handled it. It's an attacking player's handled the ball, regardless whether he means it or not." And that was the problem. The other thing is, it hits Bernardo Silva on the arm, flies across, hits Trent, goes up and hits him. So they wouldn't have given it anyway. It's hit another body part.
Because was this VAR's first season?
Second season, I think.
Because I seem to remember, don't City draw the opening game against Spurs?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. Because I remember Jesus going, this VAR shit. Because VAR
it might be the fourth season, but that's the one you're talking about. The ball comes in.
Yeah.
They're 2-2 against Spurs. The ball comes in. Laporte goes to head it. And as he heads it, he actually heads it down. It hits his arm, falls to Jesus, who buries it. And everyone's like, yeah. And the thing was, they'd been robbed of an offside goal against Spurs in the European Cup quarter final.
That's
Do you remember?
Jesus got mad. He
Yeah,
goes,
and then it comes back to the first league game. I think it might be the second league game of the season. It's City's opening home league game, I think. And this happens in the last minute. So when it gets to Anfield, it's as soon as you see what's happened. When I seen the thing with Trent, I went, they might give that, because you have to really slow it down to see the actual impact of the tie. But once you go back and they show from behind the Kop goal, and you see it hitting Bernardo Silva, you know the penalty's never been given. Rory says they pinned us in for the first 5 or 6 minutes of that match, and then we broke out on a counter, forced time for a bit of relief, and scored about 9 minutes in the goal, was it?
6 minutes, yeah. So
Was
it's
it
early
six?
in the game.
It felt like
6.
yeah.
And then on 13, and I think this is one of the I think Linda said this is the type of goal they love. Trent gets the ball in his right backish position, switches it to his left foot, does a 60-yard dag to his mate Robbo.
And if you watch it back, Bernardo Silva starts to run towards the centre half to try press him, thinking it's going into the centre half, and then it just gets whipped over his head to Robertson. But go on,
And
continue.
Robson
It's a
gets
great
it,
goal.
bends this left-footed cross, and Salah just cushioned header. And again, VAR's checking it. He's onside. It's a tight one, but again, because it's Liverpool, it was some sort of conspiracy. It's great. We should pay VAR more often, like, because it's well more fun. And that's when you feel a bit more relaxed and think 2-0 up against City is always a bit of a comfort blanket, because you're still thinking, these are good. Guardiola's starting to lose his rag a bit, and we'll come to that, because he creates the great meme that he becomes.
Yeah.
his head burns out at Anfield quite often. But yeah, we go in half time 2-0. We've kept Aguero very quiet. I mean, Aguero, I think, for his whole career, never scored at Anfield, which is mad for a guy.
Does he have a chance early on in that game?
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah. I think he might have a chance fairly early in that game. It doesn't happen for him.
Lovren, to his credit, deals with him quite well.
And then the second half comes, and I remember Liverpool beating them 3-0 in the 17-18 European Cup, right? Before we go off and beat them at the Etihad. But that game, we blitzed them 3-0 at half time, and we're brilliant in the second half. Defend fucking brilliantly to make it to go in 3-0. Like, we literally go from lunatics to the most, like,
mature side,
organised, mature defence performance. And I'm sitting there thinking, we need the same again here. But Liverpool come out and go, no, fuck that.
No,
Henderson breaks down and digs out a really good cross. Really good cross. Manley gets a header at the back post. Bravo's in goal.
I think Edison saves that.
Yes, so do I.
And I also think Alisson saves it. It's very weak wrists. But listen, I couldn't care.
No. It goes in and it's 3-0 and you're like, oh, this is fucking unbelievable. But then Liverpool, I think, are really good at seeing out the game. Does Bernardo Silva score for them?
He does, yeah. It's a cross that comes in and it's low cross. Alisson's got it. And that was probably more of an annoyance than anything. It
was a really good finish over from what I remember.
Milner came off for Alisson, Chamberlain came on for the last 10 minutes, and Gomez comes on for Salah. Now, I may be getting these mixed up. I'm sure this is the one where Gomez and Sterling have a set two. It picks Sterling up and moves it. Because hadn't they been away in England's duty and Sterling got sent home because Gomez had like a big nail mark down the side of his face because he grabbed him because he fell out? Or was that a different season? I feel that's this season. I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me.
So you think this happened at England and then they come back and
they have a little square up? No, they had this square up and then it happened in England the next week.
Yes, yeah,
that's
right. So what happens is the ball's down the Anfield Road end, near close to the Anfield Road and the main stand, from what I remember right. Gomez is just literally holding them off the ball. Continues to do it, and then I think Sterling might take a sweep at him.
It says a little kick at him, and he just looks at him and goes,
yeah, he turns around and goes, what are you doing? And he starts opening his mouth, and then Sterling pushes him, and Gomez literally grabs him as if he's just going to pick him up in the air, and then everyone piles in, but you could see Gomez looking, going, what the fuck's going on here? And then I think you're right, and someone in the chat, there's people watching in the chat, I think you're right, I think they go away to England, and Sterling gets sent home.
And you can see Gomez has got a marker, because I remember, because Gomez then comes off for England, and he gets booed for it.
Correct.
Which is bizarre. But before Gomez came on, because I think it was a bit early in the game, cross comes in, deflected, hits Trent on the arm, no penalty, and it's the whole Guardiola twice. He tells the crowd to fuck off, and he turns to the crowd. His head's proper kettle.
Well, his head always goes, and you see, do you remember the time when was it last season? It was last season where he turns to the main stand, he starts roiling the main stand up. So
he starts laughing at him, going,
and starts doing it. But the thing is, he can't win, because when he loses the plot, the main stand reacts, and that goes around the ground. Or when he roils the main stand, everyone reacts and fucking goes at him. So he'd be better off doing nothing, but he can't help himself. And yeah, that is the time he keeps going 2-2-2 to the fourth official and stuff like that. But again, that's another ball that's whipped in, and I don't think it is a penalty, to be perfectly honest with you.
No, it's not. It's never. Ashley here saying, Raheem Sterling tried to grab Joe Gomez by the neck and said, "You think you're a big man now at St. George's Park?" Yeah, because I think there might have been a bit of friendly winding up. And I think that also showed a bit of fragility in City, which is that's got to you, that.
So Raheem Sterling tries to grab Joe Gomez by the neck. Is this during the game? No. Ashley says...
No. It's just that training.
at
This is that,
training then at St. George's Park and says, "You think you're the big man now?"
and that's when he gets sent home then because he'd lost his rag. I mean, to be fair, to grab Joe Gomez's leg, he must have been on a stepladder.
Yeah, but like Joe, I don't think like maybe there's a bit of crack going on about it, but Joe Gomez in that whole situation doesn't carry on like I'm the big man here, I'll sort you out. Joe Gomez looks at him as if to go, Raheem, what are you doing? And they know each other. And then
Yeah,
Raheem
look,
starts kicking off, and you see this is all off the back of Raheem Sterling, the treatment he gets at Anfield and stuff like that. But
yeah.
yeah, but like Joe Gomez, there's nothing wrong with it. And then again, like England fans booing Joe Gomez coming onto the pitch because Joe Gomez has been fucking hit by Raheem Sterling in training, and Joe Gomez the villain and all this. Like, so that's what you're up against. But
Also, of all the Liverpool players, Joe Gomez is the most chilled, laid-back
yeah,
person you could meet.
yeah.
Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you
That's
would
sort of
you
like,
see that, but that's the thing. Sterling's probably doing that thinking that like he's not doing it to Van Dijk. Van Dijk has just ploughed him out of it. You know what
well,
I
he
mean?
wouldn't do it to Henderson. He wouldn't do it to Henderson because he'd probably turn around and tell him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so but
it's a bit of a mad one, but so that brings us how many games in?
that is game 12.
So we're 12 games in, 11 wins, 1 draw, which would leave us on 34 points from 36. And that puts us, I think, 9 clear of Man City.
Yeah, which is a lovely feeling. A lovely
Yeah.
feeling. Now, for next week, for the next show we do, we're probably going to concentrate on 1, 2, 3, 4, probably only 5 league games because it's also around this time which we have to talk about the debacle of the League Cup. We'll go into that, and we also go do the World Club Championship.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we should talk about because it is a first.
Yeah. We'll
And
throw it in there.
I always like to talk about things where at this time, at this age, it's not very often you see a first in anything for Liverpool. Because you mean Gav seen European Cups? We haven't seen the first European Cup because
Yeah.
lucky enough, this is the first time we've won something that nobody else has won for Liverpool. So it's quite. So I always think that's quite a nice thing to talk around.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
just
We'll do that.
the debacle of what's going on.
We'll do that the next one. That's it, I think. Episode 2. We'll probably get episode 3 out early next week. We'll try to do 3 and 4 next week, will we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try next week. Right, well, I have to go now because I have to go and change around all the shows that I made a mess of at the start here. Apologies again. But in the next 16 minutes between us ending and the next show starting, the next show should look like the next show was meant to look. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good stuff. Right.
Cool.
Come on,
Right, we'll see
say
you.
goodbye. I'll get us out of here.
Okay. Listen, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the show. Please leave your feedback, even Telegram group or on the chat, because we enjoy doing this and gives ideas of what you'd like us to do next once we've done all these 6. Till then, take care. Speak later.